Hey people, right. Tonight is a special night because it's time to break out the big guns, right? Enough with the fluffing around. We got to get down to business. We got this bad boy and a big box from these guys right here. Oh, geez, is that the time? It's getting pretty late, right? We should wrap this up fairly quickly before we run out of time. So I'm going to open this guy up first. Live, one shot, one take. Let's smash it out. Let's look at all the bits and pieces that are in this box. Remember, it's from this vendor right here, right? So let's do it. Nice and fresh. Delivered this morning. It's the best part, man. I love this part. It's just all the coolness arrives all in one shot. You know, you can take a build up to a certain point with key components, but it's when you start getting down to the electricals, that's when the exciting stuff happens. MakerX, you know, one thing has to be said, 10 out of 10 for wrapping, always on point. I like the sandwich, and I actually reuse this bubble wrap when I ship out my own ESC enclosures. So thank you, MakerX, for sending me lots of bubble wrap. I always struggle to find the little spot. Here we go. Zoop. I'm not going to do like what YouTubers do when they speed up and do it. If you want to do that, go watch another YouTuber do his stuff. It's not happening on my channel. You got to sit with me for the entire time with the unboxing and unedited video. All right. Oof, oof, I love it. It's here. This is special, right? And it's special because it's not the ESC, which you probably think it is. It's something else completely different. I should do one of those ASMR videos, right? MakerX ASMR, erotic unboxing. This is the GoFuck DV6. I know it sounds bad, right? DV6S. This is so flipping small. Let's get a size comparison with something here. Jeez, a size comparison to an XT connector. Let's take a zoom up of that. Look how small that is. That is tiny. Either that or I've got gigantic hands, right? The S version is the upgraded variant of the DV6 Pro. Okay, so this is the upgraded variant of the DV6 Pro. The DV6 Pro is now decommissioned, no longer available. This is taking over, and it has a lot to live up to. So I'm looking forward to coding and getting this up and running on this new build. So that's the big difference, you know, power leads are going out the side. I think that's a smart move, just because from a space perspective, it means if you're building enclosures, you can butt that right down and flip it that way, get all your sensors, move all your sensor wires there, especially on my enclosures. So the redesign, I love it. That's the ESC, power on the side, still 5.5 millimeter connectors on the top. We have a Bluetooth right here. The MakerX Bluetooth aerials so far have been really reliable. Good connectivity, and massive shout out for terminating the connectors as well. Because I know in the early generations you had to twizzle them yourself, but you don't have to do that anymore. They have the port there, so massive shout out. Of course, we get another MakerX sticker just when I'm feeling kinky and I want to stick it on my body again. But the other cool thing is this bag right here. It comes, well, with another sticker, but it does come with the male bullet connectors. Comes with the on-off switch right here. Oop, there it is, sorry. And USB cable and any extra connectors that you might need depending on your build. And it comes with an XT male as well, okay? So that's pretty important. So that way it enables you to have all the connectors, all your connectors are covered in the one package with MakerX. That is what I love about it. So yeah, that's a relatively quick and painless unboxing. I think it's my first unboxing. I haven't done any unboxings. The other thing that comes in here is this cool little manual, and in here it shows how to code in your specific devices, and has a nice QR code so folks can scan that and make sure that they've set it up correctly. Also, be sure to read the disclaimer and program your ESC correctly. I might do a walkthrough of me setting an ESC up on a build. I might do it on this. I'll see how I feel. I'm always daunted because I can do these videos relatively easy in one take because I just wing it, right? I'm not really fussed how it turns out or do any post-editing. But with coding an ESC, I think that it might be a little involved. I'll think about it, right? So that's it. All the cool MakerX stuff in the box there. I'm not going to go into too much detail or the technical aspects. What for? It works. It's a bloody good ESC. In fact, I think after what happened with LaCroix, now it's probably the ESC everyone is going to be going to for DIY builds, right? So there you go. Next, the sticker's still there. It's still there, right? Better hurry up. Time's ticking. I love this box because this has happened to me so many times before. Having an online store, you got to ship something out to someone, right? You put everything in the box, you do a good job at wrapping it up, making sure it's nice and tight. You're in bed at night and you're like, did I include that extra screw or did I put that widget in I was meant to put in? And it clearly shows that, you know, we're only human. I got 2 grub screws, motor grub screws, stuck on the outside of that box, which I find absolutely amusing. And it just goes to show, folks, we're all human beings, right? It happens to the best of us. So massive shout out to Radium for maybe losing a bit of sleep there, wondering if he'd put those screws in or not. But I'm sure he just stuck them on the outside just to cross it off in his own mind anyway. So thank you. All right, let's open this sucker up. Oh, more stickers. I mean, should I put another one on? Nah, let's not be ridiculous, right? Always more stickers. Love the stickers. Paperwork. Don't need paperwork. Who does paperwork? Wow. Wow. These boys are awesome. We got one of these guys too. Oh, look at this packaging. It is next level. Lots of goodies. Oh my God, look at this. This is, oh, so much wonder, guys. Where do we start? The motors, of course. Let's just go big, right? Go big or go home. There they are there. Look at that. Straight up, out the box. Let's see how they look like. When you buy Radium motors, that's how you get them, boys and girls. So nice. These are the latest revision. And what does that mean? What does the latest revision mean? Well, I think a few things have changed from when they first were released. The biggest thing is the motor shaft size. It's just right now. So that's the biggest change. And I think that amongst that, the bullet connectors are also 5.5 millimeters as well, straight from Radium. So if you are building a deck with an undermount battery, you can just go straight in to your MakerX ESC and they will plug in perfectly. So that's I think one of the revision changes that's on the Radium site. Maybe I should have read it beforehand, but I'm not big on the small detail stuff, right? I mean, who reads all the manuals and shit? They work beautifully and oh, so nice. Let's zoom in. I know that doesn't make sense, me turning it, but you'll have to rest assured that it's nice and smooth. Smooth action. I love these motors. These are 173 kV. I run the 173 kV. I ran them on my board under 12S. And then I, for whatever reason, decided, well, I want to build a 16S setup. So I'm running my board under the 173 kV under a 16S setup. And I can honestly say I was really underwhelmed in moving to a 16S setup, because I honestly think that you can get better speed and torque if you gear your 12S setup differently, right? So yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I thought, oh, geez, I'm going to jump on my board, punch that throttle, and it's going to send. And it didn't do what I was expecting it to do. Don't get me wrong, it does have more power, just not as much as I thought it would have. Maybe I'm used to it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just complaining for the sake of complaining. But anyway, they're the motors, and they can run under 12S, and I'm running them under 16S on my personal build. But again, there's no reason to go high voltage at all. Stick with 12S and stick with a belt setup and alternate your motor pulley. Go from a 16T, play with an 18T, and go with a 20T motor pulley to get your preferred, whether you want high speed or more torque. You can go from a gear ratio of something like 5.2 right down to a 4 or a 4.2, I think, if you've got 20T, maybe even lower. So you got all bases covered. Let's keep going. My favorite, guys. These are the Wheel Pulleys, 20T being, not 20T, 20 millimeter wheel pulleys. And these are, I don't know the technical term, you're going to have to look them up on the Radium website, but the way they're made ensures that you get proper seating with your belts as well. So let me just, I've gone off camera, sorry, I'm rude. You know, this stuff when you wing it, right? So you get really nice seating on your belt there with the way they're designed, right? So they're pretty sweet. And Radium does have really cool belts on his site now as well, so check them out. They last exceedingly longer than regular belts. And I see folks complain, oh, I snap belts once a week. My comments to that is, well, if you're snapping belts once a week, you're buying cheap belts. I reached out to a bunch of my old builds that were running the 20 millimeter setup, and none of them had snapped any belts. Sure, they've some wear and tear and some scratches through them, but none of them have snapped. Mine, I'm still running mine from a few months ago, probably 6 or 7 months ago. So they work well. Each to their own. Now, these guys. Let's see. So yeah, belts, do check them out. They're made of a special material. I don't know, because I forgot the name of it, right? I'm too busy unboxing. Maybe I should have a run sheet in front of me so that way I don't forget the names of stuff as I'm ranting and talking. But I'm sure someone will correct me. Like I said, no speed ups, guys. It's all real time. Oh. You know, a lot of guys make motor mounts. And I remember on my very first build that I ever did, it's still kicking around. I see it on Facebook Marketplace every now and again. It pops up. That was the first time I'd used Radium motor mounts on that build. And I'd messaged the team at Radium and said, how strong are your mounts? And I got a picture back of someone hanging on a mount off the rafters, off a shed. And I thought that was amusing. I thought these guys know the spirit, have the spirit of esk8 in their heart. So I've only ever stuck with these types of Radium motor mounts for any of my builds where possible, right? And they are sweet. They're black anodized. I prefer shiny, shiny silver, but I'll take the black anodized. How nice are they? They are sexy. They're almost like a 1.1 piece, I call it, rather than a one piece, and I'll show you why. What's in this bag? I think I've got some kit. Let's see. Half of the time I don't know what I'm put in my checkout, right? Oh, we got motor pulleys. Yeah, the motor pulleys. Oh, these other bits and bobs. Ah, screw sets. Excellent. So these are 15mm wheel spacers. Okay, so what they go on is the back of your MBS wheel. They go in there to space out the wheel pulley from the wheel, and I'll bring a wheel up. Just bear with me for a second. Hang in there, guys. So that's an MBS rim right there. They slot in right there like that. Okay, right where that screw goes. And then the wheel pulley will bolt onto there. So I've got a couple sets of those because I'm going to need some for my own personal build. So let's put those suckers back in here. Boop. Boop. So we've got them. That's good. MBS. It's good. And we have keyways. Always need keyways. Always losing keyways. What do we got here? Oh, okay. This is what we got extra. Zoop, zoop, zoop. Oh, some sync plates on there as well. Now, I don't think they're for this build. I think they're for somebody else. But I might get my orders mixed up. Right, so let's cut that out. Whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So that's it. That's pretty much it for the unboxing on the Radium side. We've got all the bits and bobs that we need for this complete build. All the motor mount components are here. Wheels, motors, you've seen it all. I'm not going to rant too much or talk too much. Let's zoom in on these motor pulleys. There you go. How nice and neat are those? And those outer edges, they're so solid. There's no getting them off. They're sweet. So yeah, so unboxing of two of the most important components, well, two of the most important manufacturers that make esk8 components for my completes, MakerX and Radium. That's it, folks. This is part 3, just unboxing all this stuff. I might go into the details of how the ESC is fed through the enclosure and mounted up, but that's going to be a long-winded video. I didn't want this to be long-winded. Okay, so maybe I'll do a 3.5 or something. Who knows? Anyway, ciao.